Hi puzzles and pieces, this is Multiplicity and Me, a channel giving you the lived experience of DID. I am in the sluggiest slug mode today with my university hoodie. It's so comfy and cozy. It's my lectures from home day today, so I thought I'd just do a little bit of filming on my lunch break. I wanted to create some resources that would be particularly helpful for when we're in difficulties, when we're in a crisis. They're all 100% free to download and use as you like. You can use them as inspiration or you can actually have them, that's totally fine. The links are all in the description below. As always, keep your critical thinking hats on, as you should for any online video. And please do bear in mind that I am not an online mental health professional. However, I can draw on my experiences of being on both sides of being a patient and a practitioner. My work life and my YouTube life are very different things. Just be sure to take everything that I say with a pinch of salt and remember to do your own research if necessary. Remember, some of the things that I say may not even feel right or suitable for you, and absolutely everything should be applied with the advice of a mental health professional that you may be working with. But totally speaking from my own experience, this is how we're just going to get stuck in with the video. When we hit a crisis, we essentially feel completely out of control. Our back brains, you know, the alarm bells kind of ring our threat response, back to a window of tolerance that we learned about in one of the previous videos. So it means that our thinking mind, kind of our front brain, has a much harder time being able to be heard and essentially rationalize ourselves within that very upsetting and highly threatening situation. So we struggle essentially to calm ourselves down and get us back into our window of tolerance. So if we can pre-plan our safety in advance of a crisis, we can essentially use that resource to help kind of like turn on the front brain a little bit more, help calm down the back brain, you know, help kind of get back to that equilibrium that we need to get through it. It builds us like a little resilient toolbox to use in times of great stress. We want to calm down the alarm bell or the threat response and amplify our critical thinking. I've made 3 things that may be helpful to use, like again, filling out prior to a crisis, but then to be used within your crisis. You can fill them in by yourself or with the support of a mental health professional, but the important thing is that the answers come from you and they're generated by you to actually give them that meaning. You know, so it may take some time for you to fully fill it out, and that's okay. You just want to make sure that it feels right for you. Don't feel like you need to kind of rush completing them. So let's go through them and I'm going to tell you about each of them. So some of these can be adapted, of course, and used for other conditions. Some particular ones that I've made specifically for DID, but you can have a little look and, like I said, adjust them accordingly. First is a crisis card. I've made this in mind of if you're out and about and suddenly you have a bit of a mental health crisis or a shutdown or whatever that might look like for you. You can have it in your bag or your wallet, and if you can no longer cope, you can hand it to someone. Or it may be that if emergency services are called, that they can see that you have this on you to help them understand what might be going on. I've made one with more minimal information, so one that kind of simply says, you know, my name is so-and-so and I am struggling to communicate right now due to my mental health. Please could you call XYZ? So it may be a partner, a family member, a friend with their number, and ask them to come and collect me. There's also a more in-depth one if you feel comfortable sharing a little bit about your condition. So, you know, something a little bit about, I have dissociative identity disorder, this is what you might see, this is what this means. And again, with the same information on, so for somebody to call and support you, or get that person to come and support you. The second thing I've made is a safety plan. So, yeah, just nice and pretty. I've taken it from getselfhelp.org. No, .co.uk. I've taken it from selfhelp.co.uk and just adapted it to make it look just a little bit prettier. But essentially the same kinds of information are on this form. So when I'm feeling distressed, I can use my safety plan step by step to help me feel safe. So then we go into what kinds of things can I do to reduce my risk of harm? What has helped me when I'm feeling like this before, what I will tell myself or what I could say to a close friend feeling this way, what others could do that may help, what my safe spaces are, who I can call, and if I still feel too distressed or at risk, I will. And then you kind of you know that step by step you can look at this list and think, right, what kinds of things can I try? What kinds of things that have worked before? What do I need to do next? So I've also given examples. So actually the one at the printout that you'll have has the example on the back in case it inspires you to generate your own, or you get a little bit stuck. Maybe you can use some of these. So the first one for what kinds of things I can do to reduce my risk of harm, like one of them is avoid loneliness, throw away razors, don't stockpile medication, don't listen to songs that trigger me, staying away from my house if that's a sensitive spot for you, don't drink alcohol, don't doom scroll. What's helped me feel when feeling like this before? I went for a walk, I wrote down how I felt, punching or screaming into my pillow, listening to loud music, visiting someone, holding an ice cube till it hurts, use 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding, use my sensory box and box breathing. So just some random ideas. You know, what I will tell myself, it hurts so much right now, but it will stop. Tomorrow it might feel better. I am loved, I am safe, I can get through this. It's not your fault. They are just thoughts and feelings and they will pass like they have before. What others could do that may help. So I've just used Joe, as in the Get Self-Help does as well. So Joe can remind me of my safety plan and listen to me if I need to call her. My auntie can give me a hug. My dog can sit on my lap. My safe spaces are, so a safe online chat I use, in a dark bathroom on the cold tiles, my weighted blanket on the sofa with a teddy, and then who I can call. And then if I still feel too distressed or at risk, I will. So I've written go to Joe's house, go to A&E. So that's just an example of what your safety plan might look like for you. You can complete this, like I said, with a mental health professional. You can complete it with your friend, family member. You can even give them a copy, whatever works best. These tools are simply how you feel you can use them best. Next, maybe when some people feel more suicidal or at risk, we can do a My Life letter. So a little bit like a love letter, but this is your life letter. So a letter for me to myself, reminding me that I want to be safe and to live, to be read again in the times that I may forget. It's just a letter when you're feeling okay to write about all the reasons that you don't want to harm yourself. And this is really relevant as well for when you have parts or when you have alters, and maybe that they're the ones that tend to harm you, and you're feeling a little bit out of control in that element. This may be something that kind of bridges that little bit of communication. So I've done one on the back, and again, just an example, but you can write up your own, and it has to be personal. It's whatever feels right for you to mention here. So dear me / alter, if you're reading this, you must be very hurt. I won't know what's happened, but I know you'll be very distressed right now, and I'm sorry we're hurting so much. Sometimes when we get like this, I know we end up hurting ourselves. I know it stops the pain. You may want to take our life or put us in a dangerous situation to make the pain stop. I understand. We've been through difficult times before and we will again, but I promise this feeling will pass. Please ride the wave. Please reach out to XXX to let them know how you're feeling. Tell them what you need to feel better. They can help. Use our grounding box or call the Samaritans. Please take care of us. Here are some of the reasons I want to live and be safe. Please try and take deep breaths and remember each of these slowly. So I put examples such as 1, my children, 2, my husband, 3, our pets. And then little things like 4, the feeling of warm sunshine, 5, cozy pajamas and bed sheets, 6, not wanting to let my abusers affect us like this, 7, calling my friends X, Y, and Z who make me feel happy, 8, walking across beaches, 9, rocking in a hammock with a book, 10, my favourite chocolate, 11, when you see people do or say something nice and prompted, 12, knowing that the past is over and I still have a future. Please take care of yourself and remember this feeling will pass. Love from host or another part, or like I said, it doesn't have to be DID specific. It can be totally adapted to what you feel is right to write. So essentially that's it. It's nothing fancy today. I hope you guys are also using some self-care after this video, because I know these can be really difficult topics to talk about. And remember, whether or not you have DID, each part of you deserves self-love, self-care and compassion. Okay, thanks everyone. Again, use the resources, they're all for you. Good luck. Bye bye bye, take care.